I'm literally in it right now. I'm going to cry. I've never belonged to myself more than I do right now. And it's truly amazing. It really is. It's hard, but it's so worth it.
Morning, guys. We are your hosts, Lori.
And Shanice, certified spiritual life coaches, and we're so glad you're here. Welcome to our series, Healing Feelings, a series here on Branching In where we dive into our uncomfortable emotions and explore the benefits of feeling them.
Yes, and we'd also love it if you just take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us to have your support as we continue to spread more self-awareness. So, on today's episode, guys, we are going to discuss the healing feeling of loneliness. Shanice, how is loneliness a healing feeling?
Yes. So loneliness is a doorway to a deeper connection with ourselves and others. When we feel it and release it, we build a sense of belonging to ourselves. When loneliness is felt but not released or not felt at all through people pleasing, we remain stuck in an unconscious loop of feeling alone. So let's break that down real quickly. Lori, what does that mean exactly?
Well, it means, Shanice, that when we allow ourselves to sit with the uncomfortable feeling of loneliness and just feel it, we're able to belong to ourselves. That's the gain. That's the gain of sitting in the loneliness. When we avoid loneliness, and like you were saying, by using a conditioned response of people pleasing or any other method, we learn possibly in our childhood, we block ourselves from feeling loneliness and we stay stuck in this overall feeling of being alone.
Yeah, yes. And we've talked about this before, Lori, on other podcasts, our experience with loneliness, but we've never come at it from this perspective of loneliness being a healing feeling. So I'm really excited to get into it with you.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just start off, Shanice, with what separates us from feeling loneliness. So, what keeps us
Yeah.
from really, because we just trying to stay away from that feeling. So what separates from that?
So we just mentioned that one conditioned response that we use to avoid feeling loneliness at all cost is people pleasing. And that's just one method, one conditioned response. There can be many. People avoid loneliness, always trying to be around other people. We use distraction, social media to not have to feel that feeling because it's such a icky feeling. We'll use so many different methods to try to avoid that feeling at all costs.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
just stay really busy, and when you mentioned people pleasing, why do we use people pleasing? I mean, I really see the condition of really doing whatever it takes to fit in and not be alone.
Yeah.
So, if I, make sure you're happy and I do whatever you say, and even if I'm not wanting to come along or do what you're doing, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to make sure if I'm not going to be able to say no to you. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, but I'll be saying no to myself because I'm obviously not comfortable belonging to myself.
And that's so interesting because I don't think the majority of people realize that when we're people pleasing and we are saying yes to someone else, even though inside it's really a no, that is a form of self abandonment. You're disappointing someone either way. So the choice is, do you disappoint yourself to please someone else, or do you disappoint that someone else to please yourself? But either way, someone's getting disappointed. So I kind of love that perspective.
Yeah.
Because it makes it just that much easier to be like, you know what, I'm not gonna disappoint myself today. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
People please yourself. Yeah. Please yourself instead of
yes.
the people. And that, is not always easy to do. We talk about that
Yeah.
so much on this podcast. Well, Shanice, let's start by just kind of sharing some of our experience with loneliness and how we've felt experiencing this uncomfortable feeling.
So we've had so many conversations on this topic, which I love, because it's something I know we've both struggled with a lot. And it's so funny to me because in all of the times we've talked, we've both come to understand about each other that we avoided it. We did everything in our power for years, most of our life, to avoid loneliness. And now we find ourselves in this space And it's just so funny because it's
We're
like,
right
what
back
the
here.
fuck? I spent so much energy doing everything I could possibly think of to avoid it, and now here I am.
Well, and there's a difference between being alone and lonely, right?
Yeah.
So here you are. Like, I know that, I mean, and we'll get into it here, but I mean, I've had many lonely times being alone or not alone. So there's a lot to, talk about here. I know I have definitely stayed in relationships that were not healthy because of not wanting to be alone or
Mhm.
feeling really lonely. But
Yeah.
I stayed with them because I didn't wanna be alone, but they did not take away that didn't take away my loneliness. Like,
Mhm.
that was the goal, was staying in a relationship to not be alone, but at the end of the day, did I go to bed feeling lonely? Yes, I
Yeah.
did. I still had the loneliness feeling. So, as that was my goal to stay for that, it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah. We were doing everything we can to avoid it, and yet not acknowledging that we were still experiencing it anyways.
Yeah, it
So
didn't help.
abandoning ourselves for no reason really, because yeah, maybe we weren't alone technically, but we were still feeling that feeling of loneliness. Yeah.
So the people pleasing, the conditioned response, it was a cover up, but it didn't fully work, you know?
Yeah, because that feeling of alone was still trickling through. Yeah, no, I can definitely relate to that, Lori, as you know. My experience with loneliness right now is really because I've kind of stepped away from everyone in my life, and I'm really starting to understand like how enmeshed I was with my family. um that's really the pain of the loneliness right now that I'm experiencing, is releasing that enmeshment and shifting my self concept, and that definitely comes with that sense of like loss and loneliness.
Yeah, because the way through is through. The only way to really get through that feeling, Shanice, is to feel it.
Hmm.
I mean, it's the one that we really avoid. I know because I have sat in that for a while and I'm kind of getting to the other side of that because I have sat in it. And I too have left a lot of people in my life and am sitting in a more of a lone, independent spot right now. And a lot of loneliness definitely has came and went, you know. You have
Yeah.
your good and bad days with it. It's not like
Yes,
we're just
of
sitting
course.
there perfect every day or not perfect every day, but it's, it comes in waves. But I feel like I have less of the waves because I've sat in it and I've just felt it and I just observed it and I just like and I feel like with that, when we talked about in the beginning, this sense of belonging is that I've been feeling closer to me
Mhm.
because of this. I really feel more like I'm getting to know me and I'm getting more comfortable with me, which all these other conditioned responses that I've used throughout my whole life have covered that up, have covered me up.
Yeah.
So by removing those conditioned responses, it is really helping me sit in this feeling of loneliness and just acknowledging it's a human emotion, right?
Yeah.
Right? This is a human emotion.
Yeah, and there's nothing to be afraid of really. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but I mean, it's so enlightening. Like it's been so helpful to not run away from it and to be with it. And honestly, I don't know if I've told you this. I'm going to tell you this now. But you're very inspiring to me, Lori. During like the worst moments of it, I think of you and I'm just like, well, if Lori can do it, I can do it. Damn it.
Well, that's
You know,
great.
'cause you've been in it for a while. And so
Yeah.
that gives me hope
Yeah.
that there's a light at the end of this tunnel, you know?
That's awesome, Shanice. Well, you know what gives me hope is all this work we do together. I feel like I have permission. I guess I didn't know it was okay to sit in there, sit in the loneliness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what kept me away from it too, besides uncomfortable. Like, is is it okay to be here? Is like I don't know, it sounds funny, but I wasn't sure it was okay. And the more you and I talk and work together and we created our chart on all these uncomfortable healing feelings, it has given me permission that it's what I needed to go here too. Not just be like I really needed permission.
And that makes so much sense because you don't really see that. You don't really see like people's process when it comes to the emotion of loneliness because we live in a world of social media. Everyone's always posting and they're out and about and groups of people. And so it's like when you're in it, you're like, am I doing something wrong? So I
Yeah,
totally get that because it's not really normalized and it
yeah,
should be because it's
yeah,
such a normal human
yeah.
emotion.
Yeah, and it's really hard from, both our upbringings. I know we talk about a lot on this podcast and to each other of
Mhm.
our upbringings of really not feeling our feelings in general.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's so much different than how we were schooled, so it's like a lot of rewiring, but
Mhm.
all of this work we've been doing for the last 5 years together has really broken down my, like, resistance to, like, "Okay, I can go in here. I can like, this is fine. This is where I should be, not
Yeah.
like in some bad area of the some
Yes.
corner of my being." It's like, "No, this is a spot I can be in."
And it's so helpful when we talk because even though we know this, I'll go unconscious to that. I'll
Yeah.
forget and be like, "Oh," but then I'm like, "No, no," and it's so helpful. I feel like you keep me more conscious and I do the same for you. We
Mm,
really help
right.
each other be in that and just
Yeah,
come back to awareness. And
yeah.
speaking of awareness,
Yeah. Well, okay, this is one thing we talked about when putting this episode together, Shanice, is so this is really interesting. Really, what was our ego secretly gaining from avoiding the loneliness? So,
yeah,
let's just start with we are always where we really want to be. Whether we say complain and whine and whatever we do about it, you know, but we're there there's some gain. We're getting something.
yes.
That is not always, like, obvious, and the ego likes to kind of play games and kinda stay hidden. So, Shanice, what is our ego secretly gaining when we do avoid loneliness?
Well, first of all, realizing that my ego is secretly gaining something has been so immensely helpful. One, it's helped with the shame because there's like shame around that. And no, it's so unconscious. It's so underlying. And bringing awareness to that has been like a breath of fresh air. Um, that has really helped me understand myself even deeper. So, one thing that my ego was secretly gaining from avoiding loneliness and people pleasing and the whole shebang was this sense of belonging, but it was a false sense of belonging because I didn't belong to myself. It was a false sense of belonging and feeling like I mattered, that others needed me,
Yeah,
and that meant people needing me meant I mattered.
yeah.
And so that was one thing my ego was secretly gaining. How about you,
Yeah,
Lori?
no, same thing. It's like, I know, like, my ego was like, staying with somebody, like, "I'm doing this for you because I care about you." And of course I did care about them, but there was a hidden aspect in it for me. I can't lie, there was a hidden aspect that I just really didn't wanna be alone either.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was the game. There was the little ego twist in there
Mhm.
that when like you said, it's so true, Shanice, when you have just having this awareness is so, so helpful.
It really is. Same, Lori. I've always been all about helping others. And even just creating this episode with you, I'm like, ooh, damn. Like consciously, I was doing that for them, but also secretly doing it for me.
Yeah, there's a little game. So, like, that's why when we go into our victim unconscious place, "Oh my god, I can't believe I, do all these things, blah, blah." Like I said, there is a reason you're there, though.
There is something you're gaining from it, or you
Yeah.
wouldn't be there.
Yeah, you
That's
wouldn't be
the
there.
thing.
You
You
just
wouldn't be
wouldn't be there. That's if we really learn anything from this episode,
there.
'cause it took us when like, I just find that to be so eye-opening, 'cause we just aren't where there's something is keeping us there. We are gaining something, or we would not be where we are, wherever we are.
Yeah.
There's something we're getting, and we have to all really check in with that.
Mhm.
Each and every one of us. I think that is so important. For me, I know it's helped me tremendously.
It's been life-changing, truly, especially if I'm in pain and it's like, "Well, what is my ego secretly gaining from this?" It's such a good question,
It
truly,
it's
truly.
it is
Ah,
awesome. It's not always comfortable, but it's honest.
yes.
And that's where you get through the breakthroughs is that's what we need is the full honesty.
And that full honesty is what allows us to then take full responsibility for our lives and make the changes that will allow us to have a better quality of
Yeah,
life.
it's the only way to make them. You
Yes.
can't make them around anything but the honesty, not
Yeah.
at least where you're saying you wanna go. Very important. So, Shanice, what did actually sitting with loneliness and allowing ourselves to just feel it, what did it teach us then? So we talked about, like, this uncomfortable place and, now we get we realize and we have this awareness that these uncomfortable feelings of loneliness is for us. So what has it taught us?
Yeah, mine is really interesting. One thing that has really hit me these past few months of my life, because I've separated myself a little while ago now. And so I've been learning so much about me. One thing I realized, and I'm still not quite sure the why of it yet. I'm sure that will come with time. But I was always so busy taking care of everyone else in my life. And yet there was this like belief that I couldn't take care of myself. And I'm sitting here wondering like why? That it makes no sense. Like I've got everyone else. Anyone knew that they could call me and I had it. And yet there was something inside me that really doubted that I could take care of myself.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that sitting with this loneliness has taught me like, wait a fucking second. I can do this. I can take care of myself. Like I've got me.
Well, I
I'm capable, you know?
Yeah, that gosh, does that hit, Shanice? That's such a good point because I feel like a lot of us anyway. I know for myself, I too have always been helping others. That's just what I do. I mean, I have a business doing massage therapy. I help others. People come to me for advice to take care of them physically, mentally. I'm a spiritual life coach. So
Yeah.
I literally help and I have children. Um,
Mhm.
so people do come to me and I love that. But when it came to myself, yeah, it's like, wait, do I have the answers for me?
Yeah.
I also how do I draw a blank when I'm like, how can I help me? Like, what do I need to do for me?" It's like empty. I'm like, "Wait," and I am so quick with answers for my daughter comes in, got it. My friend comes in, got it.
Yeah.
Anybody,
Same.
my mom, got it.
Yep. All of a sudden, a cloud of confusion.
Yes, and for me, you know what that really said to me, that what you're just talking about, what that really showed me in sitting in the loneliness is something I was saying earlier in the podcast is these conditioned responses I used for myself. I was so buried underneath all of these responses. I really didn't know me. I
Mhm.
knew everybody around me, but I didn't know me because I put that on the back burner. And I was so buried. And so I really knew everybody else because I was hyper tuned to anything they needed because I felt it was my job to know them inside and out. I
Yeah.
never thought it was my job to know me inside and out, the
Mhm.
opposite. So I had no idea who I was. And the way to find me was sitting in this lonely place. Honestly, it was and it still can be, not it's like not over, but uncomfortable as hell,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm getting all this wisdom of I'm like, "Oh, I like this," or "I don't like this," or "This is me." Like, I'm learning so much about me. So now I am capable of taking care of me because I'm getting to know me.
Yes.
I
Well,
know what I like and don't like.
I'm so glad you brought that up because, yes, like our attention was so outward focused
Uh,
on everything and everyone else that we never bothered to turn that focus inward. And now that we have, we're learning so much about ourselves. Like I'm learning so much about me. It's just so insane that the answer, like truly the answer and the way is in the very thing that we've avoided most of our life and most people avoid just because it's so fucking uncomfortable.
yeah,
Yeah.
back to branching in, why we
Yeah.
have the episode. It really starts with us. And that, if you can put all your energy there. And you know what also it taught me, Shanice, is I'm no longer focusing on my journey of like putting the energy outside and really caring, not in a negative way. I do care about people, but not care what they're doing. Like that, good for them, yay for them. I'm so inside focused. And I've really switched my attention to inside of me versus outside of me that it really helps that I'm not really bothered about much going on outside of me either. because
Yeah.
it's not my focus. I think we get caught up in, "Oh my god, why did they do this?" or "Who did that?" Like, all these things, because
Mhm.
that's where our attention has been. We
Yeah.
have been outside of ourselves, but soon as we go inside, it doesn't you're not even seeing that. Your world changes, like, what you're looking at.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that was what it taught me too, to just I can go and just go about my day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are capable of
Yeah.
so much more than like, we're just beginning to find all
Yeah.
of the
No,
levels,
truly. Like,
you know?
just the beginning. That's a really exciting actually when I think about it. It's like, how much more am I gonna learn about me, and where is that gonna take me? It's really exciting to think about. And I will say, I think that one of the biggest things that sitting with loneliness has taught me is that loneliness is the easier route. I'd been avoiding it my whole life because I thought it was the harder route. But I'm learning no, it's the easier route. The harder route was me people pleasing and trying to belong and doing everything I can to make sure everyone else was good. That was way harder.
Yeah.
Um, and I will say choosing myself has definitely been hard. It feels worse short term. Like after a life of people pleasing, choosing yourself feels terrible. It is really, really hard in the short term. But long term, it's the easier path. It really is.
Well, and you know why that is? Like, it's energy, and we have the energy inside of us to take care of us. But when we're bringing it out and worrying about everybody else and taking care of all this, there is nothing left in the tank. There
Yeah.
is no reserve.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and yes, it's just definitely easier, but like you said, short term, very uncomfortable. But it's just the more you do anything, like going on the roller coaster, it just gets easier. The first time, yeah, it's scary as hell. Second time, still scary as hell.
Yeah.
Third time might still be scary as hell.
Yeah. But
It
the
starts
more you get on that ride and,
yeah,
you go through it,
because
it
you've
does
done
get
it.
easier.
Because
And you
you can do it then. Like, it gives you that piece of confidence that I'm not gonna die.
Mhm.
I can do this. And, oh, that's the feeling? It's the unknown that we all kind of like, "Oh, I don't know. I've never done this. This is like,
Mhm.
am I gonna make it?" But when you just
Yeah.
go through it and you do get to the other side and go, "I made it," and then when that comes in again, it just lessens. It's not as intense. The intensity, like we talk about, goes down a lot of notches.
Yeah, because that's what it is. I've literally been proving to myself in real time that I can do this, that I'm strong enough to choose me, that I have me, that I'm capable, and it's really done amazing things for my confidence, I have to say.
I love that. Yes, that is so good. I am so happy for you. I'm so happy. This is wonderful.
I'm
And
happy for both of us because I mean, we've had a crazy ass journey.
and that's why our passion really, guys, is feelings, and we'll continue this. Stay tuned for more on this healing feeling series because we have so much to tell you guys about the feelings that we had no idea that we are emotionalizing now and going into it. And
Yeah.
every time we unravel a new feeling, you guys, it's really exciting because your whole life will change
Yeah.
by not having to use the energy to resist these feelings that are going to the thing is they're no matter what you can't they're going to be here, so
Mhm.
why not find a way to work with them, and
Makes
why
sense.
not find a way to like embrace them, and
Mhm.
then on top of it, wait till you hear all the gains Shanice and I'm going to share with you that you get from them. It's amazing.
Yes. Yes. And just as a reminder, loneliness, the game is you belong to yourself. And God, like I'm literally in it right now. And I'm like, I'm gonna cry. I've never belonged to myself more than I do right now. And it's truly amazing. It really is. It's hard, but it's so worth it.
It
Yeah.
is. It really, really, really is. That's all we can say. You gotta stay the course. The only way through is through. And hopefully listening to our story has inspired somebody listening that will stay in that place and not, try to reframe it as not being a bad place, to actually be a really great place to explore and get curious and get to know you. really get to give yourself a hug through it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to
Yeah.
say.
I don't think there is much else to say. It's so worth it. And I know that anyone who makes a choice to take this path, you will come to realize that for yourself at some point on that journey that
Yeah,
it was all worth it. I'm there right now, and it is. It is. Even though it's still hard, I still see the value, the intrinsic value in every aspect of my life. It's touching everything. And
yeah,
so it's truly it's a miracle what sitting with your feelings, making friends with them, allowing them to be and to teach you what they're here to teach you, what it does to your life.
yeah.
Truly, it's
Yeah,
right.
what a great story, and you know what? And the thing is, you couldn't go any other way, so if it was bad what we're saying, we would turn around and go right back out, but we're not turning around. No, I want more of this. Like,
Mhm.
literally, that is the testimonial. We are saying, "It's uncomfortable, but I want more."
Yeah. Yeah. We're forging ahead. There's no going back at this point. There's no
No.
going back. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. So, you guys stay tuned for more of these
Yeah.
episodes on the healing feelings because it's exciting and yeah, we've done a lot of work with this and that's why we've created a wonderful chart to expand upon this further. But okay, so to wrap it up, Shanice, in this episode, we discussed the uncomfortable healing feeling of loneliness, how it feels, what our ego secretly gains from it, and what it taught us. And like I was just saying, we also created a thriving, surviving chart that breaks down all of our uncomfortable healing feelings.
Yes, and you can access this chart by purchasing our 10-week bootcamp, Awaken into Authenticity. And you can just click the link in the description to go to our website and learn more if you're interested. And that's it for this episode. If this episode spoke to you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you think would benefit from it. And thank you guys for listening to Branching In with Shanice.
And Lori, join us for our next episode. We post on Fridays. See you guys then. Bye.